What is going on, fam? It's January 14th, 2025, and you're watching the Ether 62 podcast. Here's what's making the headlines for today. Donald Trump's inauguration, Pete Hegseth's confirmation for Defense Secretary, the External Revenue Service, plus new fires popping up out of nowhere, Gavin Newsom's concerning behavior, Starbucks cutting off druggies, Denver 16th Street Mall stabbings, and earthquakes in diverse places. You are tuned into the ever so convenient current events as trending on X. With only 6 days from the inauguration, President Donald Trump has wasted no time progressing to his first day in office as the 47th president or the 19th president of the Republic. Just yesterday, the itinerary was released for the inauguration and the days leading up to it. It's filled with many celebratory events, including a rally, several balls, parades, and a relaxing morning with a sip of tea before he takes his oath of office publicly. It's difficult to imagine stress levels are not elevated considering the stream of events that have transpired within the first 2 weeks of the new year. And why the new year, you ask? Well, I'll get more to that later. Well, I'll give you a hint. It has to do with conspiracy theories. Donald Trump's top pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth underwent a Senate confirmation hearing early this morning where he completely annihilated the Dems. Speaking on topics such as COVID vaccine discharges, DEI, transgender ideology, and his tattoo. Take a look.
I will commit to this because the Commander-in-Chief has committed to this, that not only will they be reinstated, they will receive an apology, back pay, and rank that they lost because they were forced out due to an experiment. Our standards will be high and they will be equal, not equitable. That's a very different word. We need to make sure every warrior is fully qualified on their assigned weapon system, every pilot's fully qualified and current on the aircraft they are flying. And every general or flag officer is selected for leadership or promotion purely based on performance, readiness, and merit. Leaders at all levels will be held accountable, and warfighting and lethality and the readiness of the troops and their families will be our only focus.
Pete, I'm actually going to ask you questions because I want to hear your answer. How many genders are there? Tough one.
Senator, there are 2 genders.
I know that well. I'm a she-he, so I'm on board.
What is this very offensive, extremist, racist tattoo that you have?
It's a tattoo I have right here, Senator. It's called the Jerusalem Cross. It's a historic Christian symbol. In fact, interestingly, recently I attended briefly the memorial ceremony of former President Jimmy Carter on the floor of our National Cathedral. On the front page of his program was the very same Jerusalem Cross. It is a Christian religious symbol. And when the events happened before preceding the Biden inauguration, I was a part of the mobilization to defend that inauguration as someone who'd been a proud supporter of Donald Trump, but also a member of the military. Had orders to come to Washington, D.C. to guard that inauguration. And at the last minute, those orders were revoked. I'd never had orders revoked before. I'd been on orders to a lot of places to do a lot of difficult and dangerous things. They were revoked and I was not told why. Later, when I wrote my book, I was able to get information. It was because I had been identified. Someone who'd served in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Guantanamo Bay, holding a riot shield outside the White House. I'd been identified as an extremist, as someone unworthy of guarding the inauguration of an incoming American president. And if that's happening to me, Senator, how many other men and women, how many other patriots, how many other people of conscience? We haven't even talked about COVID.
I'm sure he'll have a solid confirmation of true patriot supporters. Donald Trump has announced he will create the External Revenue Service to collect our tariffs, duties, and all revenues that come from foreign sources, sparking conversation and debate whether or not the IRS will be abolished. In other conspiracy news, California Governor Gavin Newsom continues to raise eyebrows with his odd behavior while speaking on the fires that continue to ravage California. With winds beginning to pick up Monday, there have been a few other fires that are calling into question whether or not they have been set intentionally by the California government to implement their plans of a 15-minute city. The following videos are two examples of Gavin Newsom's unstable behavior. Disclaimer, viewing these videos will not make you dumber, but you will be questioning what you've just watched. Take a look.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
Governor, the budget is obviously a paramount process for you and the legislature, and I just want to ask you about something on the other end of the budget on a different topic on public safety. Do you think it looks good to the taxpayer for an assembly member who is also the wife of the Attorney General to lead a committee that oversees his budget and other departments?
I literally don't know what you're referring to.
Assemblymember Mia Bonta is set to lead the Budget Sub-5 Committee on Public Safety. I mean, the Attorney General oversees ethics in the state, distributes ethics training to state officials.
I'm just telling you, I thank you for informing me. The legislature makes their determination. I have no idea.
You don't, is it ethical or not?
I don't even know what you're referring to.
That's interesting, right? What is he so giddy about? It looks like he just ordered his first drink from Starbucks. Or is he preparing for the 2028 Olympics? And speaking of Starbucks, it looks like they're ending their open door policy, noting anybody that wants to hang out or use the restrooms must buy something. Now, could this be because Gavin Newsom, being the damsel that he is, would like to enjoy his blonde cold foam sweet shake and espresso in peace without the evacuees? Or is it because they've cut a deal with Biden and his son? After all, the evacuees no longer have a home and will need a place to keep warm. Not here, says Starbucks. You must pay. Since FEMA lied and threw them back out on the street, poor people can't even get back to their homes or belongings. The roads are blocked by police and military vehicles. Makes you wonder if this is an attempted land grab. It's not only strange, but very suspect, and only fuels the conspiracy theories behind the inaction of the California government. Among the current fires that have yet to be contained, the most recent are the Ventura, Oxnard, and San Diego Marine Corps fires. Mandatory evacuation orders have been issued. And this is about the second military base that's been targeted. Just FYI. I'm starting to believe there's more behind this story, but definitely not more than the measly $770 Biden has announced as aid for the victims of the fires. If that's not an insult to his voters, I really don't know what is. Well, Denver, Colorado is back in the news. If you can't keep warm in Starbucks, don't even think about going to the 16th Street Mall. Just a few days after 4 people were randomly stabbed, 2 of them succumbing of their injuries, the Denver mayor and chief of police addressed the citizens, assuring them Denver has never been safer and there's nothing to worry about. While a passerby, freedom fighter, had a different, more authentic opinion. Take a look.
Yeah, I saw you at the parade, you fucking coward mayor. Fucking, this is your fault! Crime-loving Democrats are burning this city down! That fucking asshole you think you are not. The city's burning! People are being victims!
I'm sorry, Colette, can you repeat the question?
I don't know about you, but did you see the smirk on the mayor's face? I couldn't agree more with this guy, and I'm sure the sign language interpreter has pretended he was deaf once in his life. That's very disappointing. To top it all off, there have been several earthquakes in San Francisco following the massive 6.2 earthquake in Mexico, and another 6.9 earthquake has just hit Japan, triggering a tsunami. Well, unfortunately, life can't always be rainbows and butterflies like the Democrats and liberals like to pretend it can be. The truth is, every obstacle shapes our character, and without obstacles, we wouldn't grow. It appears the obstacle in front of us at the moment is coming to terms with the term, truth hurts. I don't like watching the city I was born and raised in deteriorate. The truth is, the United States and Denver, Colorado deserve better. We deserve our streets to be free from drugs and needles. We deserve our schools to be free of liberal sick indoctrination. We deserve our atmosphere to be free of chemtrails. We deserve our public squares to be free of criminal, illegal activity. We deserve our foods free from poisons, chemicals, and additives. And lastly, we deserve voter ID. Denver, Colorado used to be a red state. Let's not allow the current politicians and administrations to turn it into another California. And with that, you are on Ether 62. I'm Luis Galvin. I will see you all tomorrow. Stay safe out there.